This very common mental error is the driving force behind political polarization, social media AI algorithms, selective hearing, and it's one of the main reasons people suck at investing. It's called confirmation bias, and this video will help explain how it works and how you can overcome it. Warren Buffett explains it best.
There's no question the human mind, that what the human being is best at doing is interpreting all new information so that their prior conclusions remain intact.
So, if our prior conclusions were wrong, we're in trouble. In 2015, they did a study among people who were on both sides of the same-sex marriage debate. Participants were offered $10 to read and respond to comments against their view, or $7 to read and respond to arguments aligned with their view. Almost 2/3 of people on both sides chose the lower payout to avoid being exposed to the other point of view. If people won't even listen to the other side's view when they're paid to do it, then of course this nation is screwed. Unless we all watch the rest of this video and learn how to overcome that. Wink, wink. This is the entire basis for social media algorithms, and it's the reason that we're so politically polarized in this country. Social media algorithms are designed to promote content that keep you on their platform. They know that if they show you the things you disagree with, you'll click away because you don't want to see it. So once they figure out what your views are, they'll show you more and more stuff that aligns with those views and less stuff that doesn't. That's how you end up with political polarization and two very different versions of the exact same story in the news.
President Biden is now endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris, to be the nominee of the Democratic Party this year.
He does not say that. He does not say Kamala Harris will make a fine nominee for our party, and she should be the person who picks up the mantle.
The challenge is, this is biological. A 2016 Jonas Kaplan study using fMRI scanners showed that more blood rushed to the part of the brain associated with basic beliefs and a sense of personal identity when people were shown statements contradictory to their political beliefs than when they were shown statements that were aligned with them. That's why people have such a visceral reaction to things that challenge their personal beliefs, especially when it comes to things where they feel an emotional connection, like politics or money. You can actually see this play out right here on the Fundamentals of Finance channel. A few months ago, we did one video each on Trump and Biden's economic policies. The basic idea was that all politicians are pretty much full of crap on every topic, but as investment experts, at least when it comes to the economy, we really understand how it works. So we find it pretty easy to sift through the political BS and say, no, that policy's not going to work, or that's not really how it happened. And we wanted to help other people make more informed decisions. But oh boy, how we learned the hard way never to make another political video. We gave both politicians bad scores on their economic performance, but people's brains just could not accept the fact that they might be wrong. On the Trump video, everyone told us we were liberal idiots. Then on the Biden video, everyone told us we were conservative idiots. There's actual proof that these visceral, emotional reactions to things that challenge our existing beliefs and overpower the logical sides of our brain. Daniel Kaham did a study where he asked over 1,000 people a question about skin cream that involved some simple math. The people who were good at math mostly got it right. Then he asked another question about gun violence that involved the same math, and the Republicans who were good at math mostly concluded that banning guns was ineffective, while the Democrats who were good at math mostly concluded that banning guns was effective. People literally got dumber and couldn't do math anymore when it switched to a topic that they had pre-existing beliefs about. That's why it's such a big problem for our investment decisions too. When we're making investments, we're making predictions about what will happen in the future. And unless we're the oracle, obviously some of those predictions are going to be wrong. But if we only allow ourselves to see the information that confirms our prior views, we're going to stick with our losing investments longer and lose even more money. Confirmation bias can also cause us to get caught up in the hot stock or trend and convince ourselves it'll never stop going up. Second AI. All this happens subconsciously, even if we're not intentionally avoiding information contrary to our existing beliefs. Most people have no idea that their brains are doing this. But even if we do an unbiased article or study, we selectively remember only the parts of what we read that support our opinion. A few months ago, we did a video suggesting that only buying VU, an S&P 500 ETF, might not be a good idea since the US doesn't always beat everything else like it did the last 10 years, and some people shouldn't be in 100% stocks. We were making the case for diversification and investing based on your goals. Not exactly controversial. At least we thought. But we got a flurry of comments like, it seems you're trying to justify the existence of investment professionals when they charge fees without providing any insights or value. But we didn't actually mention active management or financial advisors anywhere in this video. Here's another one. I have to disagree with you. Long-term investing is way better than options trading. Again, we didn't mention options trading at all in this video, and we were making the case for long-term investing. People just heard what they wanted to hear. Confirmation bias also causes people to accept clearly biased research when it confirms their existing opinions. The most extreme example of this comes into play with scams, like the one on the Iraqi dinar. People are told that it'll make them rich next week, every week, and it's been going on for like 20 years, but people only consider the information that confirms their prior beliefs and ignore everything else, no matter how overwhelmingly obvious it is that they're being lied to. So here's the main issue with confirmation bias. Facts do not simply cease to exist just because they're ignored. If we want to evolve and develop the ability to overcome confirmation bias, we should follow Darwin's lead. When he found something that was contrary to his established conclusions, he would quickly write it down because he knew that his mind would otherwise have pushed it away. He knew that it wasn't just the strongest or most intelligent species that survived. It was actually the ones that were most responsive to change. And if I could put that into modern investment terms, it's not the smartest or most informed people that are the best investors. It's actually the people with the right mindset, the people who are willing to consider alternative opinions, who actively seek out new information contrary to their existing beliefs and adapt to change. Here are 3 steps you can take to help you overcome confirmation bias in investing. 1. Document your investment mistakes, learn from them, and be conscious of them in the future. For me, personally, one I constantly have to remind myself of is don't be greedy. I've learned the lesson the hard way a few times. When I'm right on an investment and it keeps going up and up, it's really hard for me to sell it. But nothing goes up forever. For me, and I think for a lot of people, selling high is actually a lot harder than buying low. Number 2, before any investment decision, actively search for evidence of why you might be wrong. The more sure you are that you're right, the more you should look for reasons you might not be. Only invest after you've equally considered evidence on both sides of the argument. And number 3, remember, there's always someone that disagrees with you behind every financial transaction. But as a buyer, there's a seller. Ask yourself, why would they be selling? What do they know that I don't know? One interesting way to do this is to call a smart, trusted friend and ask them to persuade you not to do whatever you're thinking about doing. If they succeed, you pay them something, like maybe you buy them lunch, but only if they can convince you not to do it. Think of it like money well spent for saving you from a bad investment decision that could cost you a lot more. Obviously, this will only work with someone who knows something about what you're planning to do, but it's mentally much easier to listen when the perspective comes from someone who you know and respect. In order to give you a chance to practice, I'm going to list out some widely held beliefs. Do you think that U.S. equities always beat non-U.S. equities, so there's no point in investing internationally? Do you think that active managers can't beat passive managers, so you should always go passive? Do you think that looking at the last 1, 3, or 5-year returns is a good way to pick investments? All of these are wrong. If you disagree, let me know in the comments and I'll make a short video disproving it. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share it with someone who you know would benefit from learning about this, and hit that subscribe button if you want to learn how to become a better investor. Also, if you want to continue the investment conversation, you can join our free Discord through the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.